Can you trust the next stranger you meet? Here are some of the scariest abduction attempts ever caught on camera. The first attempted abduction takes place in Uniondale, New York. A 13-year-old girl is determined. He grabs her from behind again and tries to cover her mouth.
I was screaming, like I was trying to defend myself.
The brave teen manages to fight him off with all her might, then bangs on the door to get help.
This 13-year-old girl was very brave. She fought off this individual, she fought off her attacker, and in a situation like this, she did exactly what she had to do.
The suspect, 24-year-old Jared James, was arrested the next day and charged with endangering the welfare of a child, second-degree assault, attempted kidnapping, and criminal obstruction of breathing.
Well, I can say thank God they caught this motherfucker for the simple fact he followed this little girl all the way home. I mean, I think she stopped. She did good by stopping, but she also fucked up by stopping. He could have grabbed her, all that shit, and it looked like nobody was out there. But when she ran and started screaming, you see her folks had a goddamn camera, and they was able to get a good footage of this crazy sick motherfucker. You know what I'm saying? So this is why I say everybody needs a camera, because we need to make these goddamn folks like these people that we out here seeing. We need to make them famous, because they can't be out here just grabbing anybody. You never know, it could be somebody you love and you care about, and you know that'd be fucked up and tragic again.
We're going to the Bronx subway in New York for this brazen attack. In a viral video, a man dressed in red is sitting across from a sleeping woman, and he wants to get her attention. When the train arrives at its next stop, 48-year-old Sunny Alloway does the unthinkable. Once they get on the platform, the woman escapes his grasp and runs back inside. She alerts the passengers, who get up and curse at the would-be kidnapper as he walks away. This wouldn't be Alloway's only viral video. A few hours later, when a group of men recognize him, they give him a dose of vigilante justice. Police found him shortly after, and he was charged with unlawful imprisonment.
Now this sick motherfucker right here, he was definitely on some other shit. He tapped her because he was like, yo, shorty, you passed out on the subway. He probably thought she was like drugged up or something and was ooted out or some crazy shit, however the fuck they terms they use. But anyway, he thought that's what she was on. So that's when his motherfucking ass decided to come up with some stupid ass idea that if he grab her, she could be drunk or something, she ain't gonna pay attention. He grab her, take her somewhere, rape her, because that's what he wanted to do, rape her. And then he going by her way, she there, you know, all fucked up. But she was just tired. She knew what the fuck was going on, and I'm thankful that she knew what was going on, because this would have been so bad. And whoever was there fucking recording it, yo, if it would have went down, I hope they would have been bossed up and fucking said something.
Imprisonment.
An 8-year-old girl is walking down the street with her mother when a car pulls up and someone snatches her. This doorbell camera caught the moment after the mother is thrown away from the car, which speeds off with her daughter.
Help me! Help me, please! My daughter just got kidnapped! Help me! Oh my God!
Thankfully, neighbors called the police immediately and spread word about the car. A neighbor found it parked at a nearby hotel and called the police.
We got her. He's in custody. We have her.
The kidnapper turned out to be 51-year-old Michael Webb, who was sentenced to life 6 months later.
The next attack also takes place in the Bronx. A 50-year-old woman is coming home from work in the early hours of the morning. She notices two suspicious-looking men standing outside, and one of them follows her into her residential building. The woman already has a bad feeling, but she has no idea what he's about to do. She's unlocking her apartment door when she hears him creeping, and 1 second makes all the difference.
It was literally like 1 second from going inside.
The would-be kidnapper is not letting up.
Hey, yo, man. Open up the door, bro. Excuse me.
Thanks to this footage going viral, 41-year-old Arisha Lucky was arrested and charged with attempted burglary, harassment, and criminal trespassing. It turns out, Lucky already had an extensive criminal record with 37 prior arrests.
In broad daylight, 6-year-old Kanadi Nash is taking out the trash when every parent's worst nightmare comes true. A man shows up, tries to inappropriately touch her, and attempts to kidnap her. After she runs inside, her dad comes out.
I went after him like he still had my daughter with him because I didn't want him to go out here and do something to another kid.
He drives out to chase the would-be kidnapper, finds him at an auto body shop down the street, and calls the authorities.
He was trying to hide in between cars from me.
Police finally arrested 33-year-old Derek McPherson and charged him with abduction and inappropriate grabbing. On a Sunday morning, a 21-year-old woman is walking down the street in North Philadelphia when... The criminal then casually walks away like nothing has happened. After the traumatic incident, the woman tries to ask bystanders for help. Thankfully, she wasn't injured, and 36-year-old Sean Lloyd was arrested in relation to an attempted abduction spree, which targeted multiple women on the same street. He was charged with attempted kidnapping, stalking, unlawful restraint, indecent assault, simple assault, false imprisonment, and harassment.
Sam Green is a 10-year-old boy from Pottstown, Pennsylvania. He's walking home from school when he notices a woman following him.
And she was like, "Where's your family at?"
His father quotes him saying,
"She probably knew me and she was going to Wawa, and that he was supposed to go with her and he can get anything he wanted."
The stranger acts like she knows his family, but Sammy's not buying it. He remembers what his dad taught him.
If you're getting followed, don't trust them. Just act casual and go by any adult.
That's when he goes inside his favorite local store and asks the 17-year-old cashier for help.
He said to act like you're my mom, this lady's following me.
The clerk notices a woman lurking outside, so she shuts the door and locks it. That sends the would-be kidnapper running. Police later found the woman, who turned out to be suffering from a mental illness, and referred her for mental health help.
Thankful that whoever this little boy parents is, they put him on his shit. Whoever was teaching him, they put him on his shit, because this woman was about to kidnap little Michael. You know what I'm saying? His little ass was about to be somebody's goddamn son, or whatever this crazy individual was on. And it's crazy to see that most of these incidents, yeah, there were kids, you know what I'm saying? But I never seen an abduction of a little boy. Definitely not no shit like this now. I know he's 10, 11, 12, whatever, you know what I'm saying, years old. He's really 10 years old. But I'm just saying, for the simple fact, he walking by himself. I mean, yeah, he got to do what he got to do. The parents raised him right, because evidently he didn't get abducted. So he's a smart, intelligent young man. But man, if this lady would have got him, boy.
Help. This kidnapping attempt took place in the Coeur d'Alene parasail in Idaho. A 10-year-old boy is swimming in the lake when a 42-year-old man tries to lure him into a nearby boat. The would-be abductor tells the kid that he's his father.
Immediately, the kid went around me and kind of hid behind me and stated, "I don't know that man and he's not my dad." Employees
at the CDA parasail moved the child to safety and start interrogating the man, later identified as John Marshall Randolph. The quick-thinking parasail's owner calls the police, and Randolph tries to go to the dock and leave. Thankfully, the owner follows Randolph until he's arrested and charged with child enticement. The boy's mother couldn't be more grateful.
In a nice and quiet neighborhood, a 13-year-old boy is taking his dog to the front yard after dark. Once he steps foot outside alone, a silver BMW pulls up and a man approaches.
He started to freeze up. He was scared. And even though we have taught him and his sister stranger danger for years on end, it was at that moment where he completely froze.
The boy's father gets out, and he is not having it.
What you got to ask my son?
I was wondering about the airplane noise.
Talking to my son and he got no adult out here. That's kind of creepy.
The man drove away and was never spotted again.
Now that guy lucky this little boy died. Didn't come out there on no crazy ass shit saying, "Who the fuck is this talking to my kid?" You know what I'm saying? And wouldn't let the lay down go down, because some people don't play that shit. Some people would have been watching that camera, seeing how he was acting. Was like, this motherfucker look like da. And would have came out there blazing glory, because for the simple fact, they know what type of time you on. And they want to send a message to let your ass know that this is not the one you want to be fucking with. And depending on who, you know what I'm saying, decide to do this shit again on, maybe your ass will think twice. But I'm happy that most of these situations, these folks been fucking getting caught and they know who's doing it. And I hope they sitting their ass down for at least 5 to 10 years. At least 5 to 10 years, because this is a serious situation. This ain't no little.
Never spotted again.
Jamie Coots from Vancouver, Canada, is taking a quick trip to the store when she notices that she's not really walking alone.
So I was walking and I could feel about 2 feet behind me that someone was there. And so I actually just stepped off the path to let them pass, but they didn't.
She takes out her phone and starts recording him, an action that would scare off a lot of stalkers.
No, he looked right in the camera multiple times. He didn't care at all.
Hey, do you mind if I sit with you guys? This guy's literally been following me in circles.
Yeah, that's cool.
For like 40 minutes and I've been recording it.
Only when someone else questions him in a crowded area does he change his mind. But she's not the only one.
10 seconds into the video, I was just like, oh my God, this was the same person that had recently followed me. There was so many people around, so that's why I was confused.
A month later, the culprit was charged.
Mohammed Majipur, a 33-year-old resident of no fixed address, is now charged with 1 count of criminal harassment in relation to that incident.
A 34-year-old woman is walking down a well-lit street in the evening. Suddenly, a dark sedan drives past her and pulls up. Once she passes by the car, 2 men get out, and one does the unthinkable. She remains calm even as she resists her own kidnapping. Then, the dark sedan speeds off, possibly after seeing headlights from another car. No arrests have been made.
Now this situation right here is sad for the simple fact she was goddamn near in the car, yo. Y'all see that? She was in the car. Okay, she was in the car. They fucking 2 dudes was right there and they had her. And that shit sad as hell to know that she could have been fucking gone, man. She was that close. That fucking close. And luckily the flashlights, the headlights or whatever spooked them guys to just drive off, because, you know, we watched quite a bit of these situations where it could have been some real close calls, and this is by far one of the motherfucking closest calls where she literally was in the car, but the fucking door is open. So it's like, girl, hey, when high power gets involved, can nothing else stop it?
Have been made.
Follow for more crime caught on camera.
Some people don't wake up meaning to commit a crime that day. It just happens. Here are 3 caught-on-camera moments from people who accidentally destroyed priceless works of art. Number 3. The $200,000 dominoes. A good selfie backdrop can generate buzz and boost ticket sales. Sometimes it also invites disaster. In 2017, the 14th Factory pop-up gallery opened in Los Angeles, featuring immersive exhibits with prime selfie opportunities.
So the 14th Factory is a multiple media installation. It is about 15 parts that all kind of link together like a jigsaw puzzle. You as the audience are kind of led from piece to piece. There's an order from one to the next.
It attracted lots of visitors looking to spruce up their social media feeds. One such visitor was in the Hypercane installation, a room filled with 60 crown sculptures resting precariously on white pillars. Too precariously, as it would turn out. As one woman crouches down to take a selfie with the crowns, she stumbles back into a pillar, which unfortunately has not been bolted down, and the entire row topples like dominoes. According to the artist, Simon Birch, she had knocked over $200,000 worth of art and damaged several of the crowns. But he chose not to take legal action, and the viral video of the incident turned out to be great free publicity.
Man, when I first saw the title, right, I thought when I seen dominoes, they had like some dominoes that was worth like $200,000, and somebody knocked them bitches over. Because you know how somebody might have had them stacked a certain way or some crazy shit. I don't know, but I'm thinking maybe that's how the $200,000 dominoes, I'm assuming that's how I got destroyed, because it was some crazy ass expensive ones and somebody did something and chipped them or something. But knocking over $200,000 worth of crowns, and then they ain't even pressed charges. Now her little clumsy ass, I hope they tell her little clumsy ass don't be in the motherfucking museum sculptures and shit next time, since she ain't got no good ass balance
Great
and
free
shit.
publicity. Number 2. Punching a hole in $1 million painting. In 2015, the Face of Leonardo Images of a Genius exhibit opened in Taiwan. It showcased a collection of 55 rare paintings, each borrowed from private art collectors around the world. It included this one, Flowers by Paolo Porpora, originally painted in 1660, the only signed work by the artist, and valued at $1.5 million. During a tour of the exhibit, a 12-year-old boy stumbles near the painting and automatically reaches out to catch himself. It takes him a few seconds to realize he's just punched a fist-sized hole through the 350-year-old canvas. Organizers decided not to charge the boy or ask his family to pay restoration costs. It was clearly an accident, and the painting was insured. Number 1.
Well, as we learned in the 1660s, Paolo Porpora, by the way, they misscrutinized the number. The painting is worth 2.5, but we'll let just say 1.5 million, because Paolo Porpora made the painting to be priceless and it's very beautiful, and you can see the flowers and the architecture of the whole different colors and everything that's magnificently crafted into one beautiful, extravagant piece of art. So Paolo Porpora do exactly what he was doing when he insured it. Or maybe the gym did, I don't know.
Number 1. Breaking the Rules and a Glass Sculpture. In 2016, at the Shanghai Museum of Glass, 2 children climb over the rope barrier protecting an installation called Angel is Waiting. The adults simply stand back and take photos, while the boys lift the glass sculpture away from the wall. When it smashes back, a large piece breaks off. The sculpture took 27 months to create and was dedicated to the artist's newborn daughter. It's unclear whether the artist or museum pressed charges, but we do know the artist made the incident part of the art. Next to the remnants of the sculpture, she installed a monitor playing the accident on loop and changed the piece's name to Broken. Ironically, the entire thing took place on May 18th. International Museum.
So, I'm sorry, but they see the border around the goddamn picture, right? The border. That means none of y'all little motherfuckers should have been over here. So why they taking a picture thinking it's cute that they messing with a glass sculpture that's dedicated to someone's daughter, they motherfucking need to learn that that shit is not cool at all. You know what I'm saying? And if them was my kids, they would have got disciplined for that shit. Cause that's priceless, you know what I'm saying? That shit really is broken.
Relapse.